And of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me. However you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be listening online via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, you can catch that at sasportstar.com, or feel free to watch the show, comment along with it. All of our shows are live on the YouTube app. Just go there, search at SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe. Feel free to comment along with the show, or something tickles your fancy that you hear that you want to discuss, be sure to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I love having conversations with y'all. Had some great ones last week. Hopefully have some great ones today, but we'll start things off today with the morning huddle early this morning. AJ and Rob having a blast, and they always look back at the weekend and find out who were the losers for the weekend.
You lose. You are such a loser. You're a bona fide schmuck.
Time now to find out who blew it this weekend. The losers.
You bunch of losers! Look who's back. It's the loser.
I'm going back to a better class of losers.
With AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, losers.
What a weekend it was. You want to go first, or you want me to go
I'll
first,
grab
friend?
one. I'll grab one. First loser of the week is Lionel Messi.
Oh.
He of Inter Miami fame. He's their captain. They just lost 3-0 to the Orlando City yesterday.
Well, that's pretty bad.
That's 5 losses in the past 7 for Miami. This is the worst losing streak of Mr. Messi's entire career. Now, remember when Miami got him.
What a loser.
Remember, the league to pay Messi had to go to Apple. Remember? And they had to sell everything to Apple. And the league, not just Miami, is paying Messi. It's not just Miami paying Lionel. Everybody's paying Messi. The team, the league, Apple, everybody's kicking in so they can try to get this league over the hump. And last year was kind of working, remember? They won a couple. Not so much this year. Lionel told Apple TV, because they own him, we'll stay united. We're a team that's in difficult times because we know when everyone wins, it's easy. But now the difficult times are coming. And that's when we have to be more united than ever. Be true team, move forward, and we do have what it takes. But behind the scenes, he's upset. It's embarrassing. It's tarnishing his brand.
I mean, nobody likes losing 3 games in a row, but you signed up for this, dude.
He did.
Yeah,
But
knew
he
what
is
was coming.
so much. Last year, it was like the varsity dude that played down on JV.
Yeah.
He was so much better than everybody on the field last year.
Is he not better than everybody now?
I think time's catching up.
Okay.
You know, I think there might be. I haven't seen him, but I just.
If I could turn back time.
So good luck, Inter Miami. You're going to be left.
I'm going to go with Rory McIlroy as my first loser. First of all, he showed up with a driver trying to cheat with like one of those long drive drivers that you get off a 1-800 infomercial.
Is he using the kabang stick?
Yeah, like the one that we guarantee if you slice your money back. And they looked at that thing and they're like, you can't use this, dude. This is a joke. And it was after Rory made the comments about, well, now I've won all my majors.
So
I'm
he
just out
brought
here.
his alien wedge.
So now he brings illegal clubs, and then he plays like ass. He finished 14 strokes behind Scotty Scheffler at the PGA Championship this weekend. Just a pathetic showing by Rory, basically mailing it in. And it's never a good look when you say, I don't really know what I've got to play for now, and then you actually go out and look like you weren't playing for anything.
So what's wrong? What was wrong with the driver?
I don't know. It didn't pass PGA standards. Like there's like I don't know what the standards are. There's certain dimensions you have to meet.
Okay. Well, why shouldn't it be like F1? Short of a shotgun shell or some kind of launch cannon like we do at our golf tournaments, what's wrong with using a different club?
Well, you can't use like one of these clubs that's made out of vibranium or something like that.
Why not?
Because it's an unfair advantage.
Well, I'm just saying, it would be if I was the only one, but what is it about some kind of technology that would, I don't understand illegal clubs.
I think they don't want people to make the golf courses look like they're not challenging.
Well, they just
it's hard
changed the
enough.
course.
I know, but they are already having to do that because golfers are getting better. The last thing they need is like these guys to have unlimited technology use.
So if the U.S. Golf Association, the USGA, has deemed a club illegal,
mm-hmm.
and I'm playing over at Brack, and I walk in and I've shot a 75, is the pro going to go, well, you're using the alien shotgun wedge?
No. That's only on the PGA Tour they would care.
Okay.
But I also saw that Scotty Scheffler said his driver also failed, and he had to use a different one. But he said, I knew it was coming because I've been using this driver for a year. So now I'm like, wait a minute. So he was using an illegal driver the whole time and getting away with, like,
he's winning
tournaments with this illegal driver? Or does a driver become illegal as you go? No, Rory won the Masters.
Oh, that's right.
But he was probably using an illegal club too.
I'm reading. How does a driver become non-conforming?
Right there.
Normal wear and tear on club face can make it thinner than is allowed by the USGA. It is possible to be within the limits for one tournament and then through usage be outside of the limits on the next. One of the limits set by USGA and the RNA is the driver's characteristic time, which measures the time it takes for the club face to contact the ball and how long it spins in contact with the ball well after impact.
Oh.
I don't think about that. I just think about, like, did my club hit it? Did it go kind of straight?
We're down to the splitting hairs part of this. So
that's why when he says I've had it for over a year, he was like, he knew it was going to wear down. Okay.
So it's not like they're using vibranium.
Right.
The paint's wearing down and getting better access to the metal or something like that.
I do feel like
I wonder if I have any illegal clubs.
I'm sure
I
do.
I think every one of mine is illegal.
Probably. I mean,
it's certainly not for quality.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's not illegal is my 3-wood. I never use that.
Pristine.
It's still brand new.
It's still brand new.
Clubs are 10 years old.
Anybody use a 3?
I'm either teeing off with like an 8-iron, 9-iron, like if it's a par 3, or I'm breaking out the driver. It's one or the other.
Oh no, I use my 3-wood.
I never do that.
I'm far better than sometimes even a 5. But
what? I don't even have a 5.
Really?
No.
There's one specific hole.
That's a ladies club.
Golf Club of Texas. I think it's like the 7. I think over water, perfect for a 5.
Oh no, I would use my driver.
Well, you couldn't play in the USGA.
I could. I'll play wherever I want.
Club's illegal.
Call the cops.
Young Adelman, I don't think he's a loser. I think he was thrust into a tough situation.
His boys are
they all seem to like him.
Yeah.
They're but the proof is in the pudding. And when you lose a game because the opposing coach does something that you didn't prepare for, that's tough. Well, for a coach to show up and do something that you weren't prepared for, that's one thing. That happens every day. To lose a game because of that, because you could never figure it out, that's one of those unforgivable sins that coaches, wake up in the middle of the night with. And when you lose a game because Dagnall put a guard on the best player in the world and you couldn't figure out a way to get him out of the problem. Now, from the highlights I've seen, I didn't see the game. It looks like Luka was half asleep for some of these things. He should have seen some of the doubles coming and shouldn't have been so loose with the ball. But that being said, your coach could not figure out how to use the best big man in the world against a backup point guard. At the end of the day, that's what happened. And you couldn't fix that. That's a loser move. And that goes back to me. that the Nuggets had a built-in excuse before the playoffs even began, that we've got upheaval in the building, we fired our GM and our coach, neither of which were doing what we wanted, and everybody going to be new next year. And they felt like they had a reason. I see Kroenke praising him. I cannot imagine a world where young Adelman comes back at OKC.
Or in Denver.
Denver.
I think he will.
You think they're going to bring that back? That was an unforgivable. You don't lose. You can get beat, but when you get, it's like losing to a trick play that they ran in football like 5 times in a row. They're running the swinging gate, dude. It's going to happen again, and it worked every time.
Yeah,
you got to figure something out.
The Toronto Maple Leafs continue to be losers. They lose every big game that's ever played, and they did it again. They had a Game 7 again, and not only the team were losers, but also the fans are losers. As first of all, the coach, when it was 2-1, he was kind of cool. Once it got 3-1, his face started to get real red, and he started yelling at his players. 4-1, fans started cussing. 5-1, they were throwing things on the ice, throwing beer on people. Not a good look. One fan stood around for 47 seconds with only the glass between the boards separating his middle finger from the Leafs. He then pressed the middle finger against the glass itself with a can of beer sailing over his head. That was the last 47 seconds of the game. And finally, mercifully, it came to an end. The Leafs were like, they looked like they were zombies in the handshake line at the end. And this is probably the end of they had a thing called the Core 4 where they had 4 really badass players at the same time.
Goalie one of those 4?
No, he's not that core. He gave up 6 goals in the last game. He sucks.
Just to fight more.
I know. But Mitchell Marner has been their second best player, and he's probably gone. So, heartbreaking is what they say, but they always find a way to lose. And they did it once again in embarrassing fashion.
Is all of Canada done?
No, the Edmonton Oilers, who beat the Knights, are still in it. They'll play the Stars.
I think I'm going to root for them.
I'll root for them against the Stars. Yeah. But I think now the Eastern Conference is going to win.
Oh, you got any losers? Feel free to drop them in the chat, and definitely let me know who you got as a loser this weekend. February Real says Mike Malone's going to join ESPN's coverage for the Western Conference Finals. That should be really good. And I'm with AJ. I think they bring back Adelman, and he continues to run this team moving forward. I don't know how long his job security will be, but I feel like they've already made the decision to bring him back, much in the same way Spurs have kind of made the decision before that Mitch was going to take over for Greg Popovich, and it kind of felt like that way. Now, here we are as Spurs fans looking into an offseason that has so much question. What losers do you have? Drop them in the chat. Feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I got a loser. It's the crowd in Indiana. And we'll get into the Caitlin Clark beef with Angel Reese in the opener from yesterday a little bit later in the show. But coming up next, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, number one. New weapons for Dak. What does that mean for the Cowboys as we move forward? The Blitz with Jason and Joe we're talking about. We'll discuss it next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. Don't get caught off guard. Contact Barton & Associates today and get your freedom back before Father's Day. TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The coolest summer starts at Target with up to 50% off select Sun Squad pool and outdoor toys and 20% off select favorite day treats with Target Circle. Discover inflatable pools and outdoor toys that'll surely make a big splash this season, while you keep it cool and sweet with the most shareable cookies and frozen snacks under the sun. Hurry! Now through Memorial Day, save up to 50% on select Sun Squad toys and 20% on select favorite day treats with Target Circle, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations. Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me. Some of you on YouTube, lots going on in the chat there, jokes being made. Of course, you can always go there at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment along, jump in there and have yourself some fun. Here, we got a lot to talk about. And stay tuned because I have something to give away today. That is right. We have a screening for two to go see the new Mission Impossible Final Reckoning coming up. This is an early screening, so you'll get to see it Wednesday before everybody else at 7 o'clock out at the AMC River Center. Two of y'all getting to go to that. Stay tuned. We're going to get y'all registered to go check out Mission Impossible, the Final Reckoning early advanced screening over at the AMC River Center this coming Wednesday. So keep it locked right here. Maybe after this segment, maybe going into the segment after that. We'll see here. Somewhere within the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to give those away for you. But first, I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, as a lot being made over, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, who's number one, who's number two. We all kind of know who is who. But Drew Pearson did say it best. The defense is going to decide who's 1 and 2, and it doesn't matter because you got a pair of ones in talent, which means more weapons for Dak. You don't have to force feed the ball to anyone. You can destroy whoever they're trying to take away each week. But Jason and Joe, we're talking about Pickens and Dak and all the new weapons and what it means for this Cowboys offense as we move forward.
George Pickens coming to the Dallas Cowboys, such a great move by all accounts.
Yeah.
Low risk, high reward for the Dallas Cowboys. One of the biggest, storylines with bringing in a George Pickens is how is he going to be referred to? Because Cowboys need a second wide receiver.
Right.
All this talk about wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, 1A, 1B. And I think Drew Pearson is the one that actually said it best a little more than a week ago. And it was like, yeah, the defense will tell you who's number 1. It doesn't matter. They both start. It's not like one has to come off the bench. CeeDee Lamb, in talking over the weekend at a Kyler Murray event with George Pickens there, said all the right things about his new teammate.
Oh, no, we both won. Yeah. It ain't no A, B, none of that. It's one. You look over there, you see one. You look over here, you see another one. So do what you got to do with that.
Well, CD's already got his contract
as
a number 1. So he can say whatever he wants to. Now, we'll see at the end of the year, if Pickens has a decent year, he's going to want to be paid like a number 1. I don't think the Cowboys are doing that.
It'll be interesting to see ultimately how it all works out. CeeDee Lamb has had his sideline behavior discussed when balls weren't headed his way. George Pickens has the same thing. CeeDee's right. They technically have 2 number 1 wide receivers, but it's May. Is CeeDee going to have the same enthusiasm for his teammate George in week 3 when George has, 14 targets and CeeDee has 6, right? If it works out that way. You hope they're able to. If you're winning, I don't think it matters. If they're not winning, that's when things get explosive. We've all been around football, sports, long enough to understand how those dynamics work. When the Cowboys are winning and Amari Cooper was getting more targets than CeeDee, then it was good. When they weren't winning, it was bad. And that's how it's going to be with George and CeeDee, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure it is. And you're right. I think if they're winning, not going to be any problem. But when you hit that, and there will be a stretch somewhere within the season where you're going to have some adversity. And that's when we're going to see what happens. Look, it's good. And I said this today. I've got a video on our Instagram page, by the way, that says there's no more excuses offensively.
Yeah,
there are not. I mean, you got two quality wide receivers. You've got a crowded room of wide receivers to come in and compete for number 3. Ferguson, hopefully he has a bounce back year, and you got a pretty decent running back room. No more excuses for number 4.
Well, and finding a solid wide receiver 2. Or 1B, or a couple, however you want to do it. Going out and getting George Pickens was a big boy move. Will McClay, the Cowboys, whatever his title is, general manager, director of player personnel, whatever Will McClay's title is. He's basically the general manager. He was on All City Dallas and talked about getting the George Pickens trade done.
Another receiver was part of the conversation, happy with what we had, but we always feel like we got to get better. Like we started the conversation with, my job is to replace you. Well, it's dog eat dog, it's competitive. So when we went through the process of looking at how we feel that, where there were a number of options in the draft, not as many as in normal years when you talk about receivers, as far as the depth of like a number 1 or a number 2 guy, a guy that you can develop quick, at least in the evaluation process of it. And then you started to go around and look at what's available from the trade market. So those conversations started, and we went through a number of different names. And then the Pickens thing came up. We did our research along with the other guys. And, sometimes when you're buying property, it's not just what you got to spend, it's who's selling. And so we found a partner that was willing to move something that we were looking to gain, and the price fit. And we're excited about it because it adds another weapon. Football is a math problem, and the more that you can add that somebody's got to take away from, the more you get that equation in your favor.
It's a math problem, Jason.
It is.
It's a math problem.
And that's true. It is. You can only double. You got 11 guys on defense. You can only double so many of them. Make the math work in your favor. One of the big question marks, and one of the reasons why Pittsburgh was willing to sell that piece of property, if you will, was because of his attitude. And Will McClay said they did a lot of homework about that.
I mean, we looked at it, and every player that we go through, you go through the number of different steps to find out who they are, not only on the field but off the field. And you talk to a number of different people, and we gathered all that information, and we did something that we're comfortable with. At the end of the day, it's a 24-year-old young man that's continuing to grow, and they have to be put in situations to help them grow. And hopefully, we can continue to help him grow, and he can help our football team grow with not only his ability but who he is as a man. And we're going to try and help him do that.
Well, and I believe that they will. And again, while I think it's a good move, it is going to be interesting to see what happens, because you come from Pittsburgh to Dallas. The media spotlight is just intensified greatly.
Mm-hmm.
So all eyes are going to be on George Pickens, especially early, to see what he does, how he behaves. I mean, does he catch passes? Does he get open? All of that stuff. And it's going to be a magnifying glass on this guy. How he handles that is going to go a long way.
And some of the comments on our YouTube real quick talk about how 2 diva receivers don't work. You can make it work generally if you're winning. A lot of teams out there have multiple wide receivers. Look at Washington added Debo to their mix, right? I mean, you look at what teams are trying to do. You just heard Will McClay say his job is to replace people. Right now, it's a 1-year rental. Pickens is not a long-term answer for the Dallas Cowboys. Could be, but it's not like they gave him an extension. It's not like he's asking for an extension. It's 1 year and a prove-it year for George Pickens, whether he gets paid by Dallas or gets paid by somebody else. It does solve the problem, at least for this year, where the Cowboys seem to be all in. They've got the weapons. And to your point, no more excuses. The running game still lacks a little and is the one area that a lot of the people that put together different projections are concerned about the run game because of who they have and unproven talent. And quite honestly, I'm a little mixed on how bought in I am on how good I think this running game can be. Schottenheimer, we go by his dad, Marty Ball, generally likes to run the football. But the way they have put this thing together, looks like they want to throw it all over the place. Like bring back Kellen Moore for this because, the weapons they have, little Kellen Moore would have had a field day. Schottenheimer wants to run the ball first, power football, yet they didn't make a move to go get an established running back like they did to get an established wide receiver in George Pickens.
Well, it's not too late to do that.
Sure.
I mean, there's still those rumors out there. What Breece Hall is still hanging out there. I think Nick Chubb, he hasn't signed anywhere, has he? So, I mean, those guys are out there. But look, Javonte Williams, I really believe is going to surprise everybody. And you team him up with a guy like Blue, and you've got your thunder and lightning, so to speak. And I think that's good for them. And look, Blue is a great receiver out of the backfield as well. So I think that running game is going to be pretty good. It's already 100% better than it was last year.
Yes.
So you use that. You can mix it up. You've got some other guys too. And look, I think that offensively the Cowboys are pretty well set. If Tyler Guyton improves, and we got to wait and see if he does, that's going to be so. I read an article today that they want to keep Tyler Smith where he is. But if Guyton struggles again, you could very well see a switch there. Because after all, left tackle is pretty big spot. So we'll see what happens with Guyton. Does he make that improvement? Does Terrence Steele play better? So that offensive line is still some question marks, but the pieces are there.
Look, I think Tyler Guyton will have a fine comeback and bounce back year. I mean, he was rookie. He was learning on the fly. He was protecting the right side for a left-handed quarterback. So it's like being left tackle, but so many things adjusting to the NFL. I think Clayton Adams will help with this. I just think a year in will help develop him. And he's going to be a much better player this year than he was the year before. I saw up here, Man M said he's never been more indifferent about the Cowboys in his entire life. Look, I don't think you need to be indifferent. I think this team's going to be better. I think, and you're going to start to hear it from other people from around the NFL when it comes to things that they need to be wary of because the Cowboys have added. They have filled holes. Are there still some holes on this roster? Absolutely. There are some questions that remain, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But to me, the Cowboys have at least put themselves in a position, especially with the acquisition of George Pickens now, to be a threat in the NFC East. And that's all you can really do is ask to be a threat and then let it play out with the guys on the field. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. When we come back, Caitlin Clark getting a lot going on in the comments. We'll talk about Caitlin Clark, what happened in that game and the beef with Angel Reese. It's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, plus your chance to potentially win an early advanced screening to see Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning this Wednesday, May the 21st at 7 at AMC River Center. Keep it locked right here for your chance to win. Right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
94.1.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
At the Institute for Functional Health, we are dedicated to helping you live life fully, playing with your kids, golfing, and feeling great without relying on pills. We're not about treating symptoms temporarily. We're about extending your health span, the years you live in good health. I'm Dr. Torres, and for over a decade, my team has transformed lives by tackling health issues at the root. Tired of medications without real answers? Take control of your health with us. Call 210-468-1891 for a free Discovery Day consultation or visit iffhealth.com. Improve your health span today.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey San Antonio, this is Kelly Finglass, Senior Director of the world-famous Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. Don't miss your chance to see our all-new theater production, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Tour. A night of dazzling performances, electrifying dance routines, a Q&A session, and even a live audition. We're coming to you for one night only, May 25th at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are limited, so go to DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/tour to learn more today.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94-1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me. You can get at me on all the social medias at I am Pledger. You can get at the station at SA Sports Star on all memes, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to get on us. We're all there. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe. You can get at me on the YouTube channel. Be a part of the conversation in there. Casey's wondering if Blue not being a smasher, can he run between the tackles? He did at Texas. So while he is a slasher, it doesn't prevent him from being able to run between the tackles. And also his yards after contact was insane in terms of the yardage that he was able to pull off at Texas. So he can break tackles as well. But lots to get into. One of the big things is going to be what happened yesterday in the opener between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And the WNBA knew what they were doing as they were opening this game, this series with that matchup, because everybody loves to talk about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and who's better. And earlier this morning, Rob and AJ breaking down the fight, the beef between the two stars in the WNBA.
The lady basketballers got underway this weekend, and there's already drama. Now, I watched this lady basketball play, and it didn't seem like a big deal to me. But there's a lot of people who was saying it was assault. There's a lot of people who were saying that
who's calling it assault?
Angel Reese.
Well, okay,
was assaulted.
She feels assaulted.
No, actually, she didn't. She said it was a basketball play. Let's move on.
It was a basketball play,
but she also got up and tried to come after Caitlin Clark, and one of the thug enforcers for the Indiana lady basketball team threw Caitlin Clark out of the way and said, "You got to come through me." And Angel Reese was like, "I'm not messing up my eyebrows or eyelashes to fight with you. I'm only fighting with the star."
Meal ticket. It felt like, the beginning of a hockey game when they're like, these two guys are going to fight. So let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Let's just drop your gloves. You guys go at it, and then we'll start it up.
The way it works is you can tell by who's on the court. You put your goons out there.
It's like when you watch the video of a prison yard when there's a fight about to go down. Well, everybody knows it's about to happen. All the hockey dudes kind of skating around just waiting for it to happen. Let's just get this over with. And that felt like, you don't put those two together the first weekend, the first nationally televised game without expecting.
Of course you do.
Well, no, you wanted that.
Yeah.
You don't do that without expecting a little something, something. In fact, if they hadn't have done it, I think the league would have called them and said, "Hey, we need a little bit of pub. We got to kick this season off. We need a fight."
People forgot that we exist. But what it did lead to, maybe the least surprising thing, it led to hateful comments from Caitlin Clark fans towards Angel Reese.
Well, can we just admit,
I can't believe this happened.
That fans in Indiana, fans in Utah, fans in Boston are going to say mean and racist things to you.
What?
Over time, I have learned that fans in Indiana, fans in Utah, and fans in Boston are going to say some pretty hateful things to you. And guess what? They've been doing it forever. Not that it's right.
But I read here the WNBA strongly condemns racism, hate, and discrimination in all forms.
Actually, it is a shame that we know those three cities are full of bigots that will find there's so many better ways to yell at players, so many perfectly good reasons to call them bums and losers for this. It is a shame that at Utah, did they say it? Oh, yeah, they said it. At Indiana, did they say it? Oh, yeah. In Boston, yeah, they said it.
Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, I'm as you know, Rob, I'm against racism in all forms. I'm against a lot of isms. Not, I won't say all, but I'm against a lot of isms. However, while the WNBA says all the things that they mean, we're aware of the reports. There's no place for that in our society, or much less our basketball league. They probably are okay with.
No, I don't think they're proud of this. I think they're like the rivalry, and I think they like the benefits of this racist trope brings to them, because we're talking about the WNBA today.
Yes,
but this is not good for business. It's not good for business because 80% of their market, 80% is not white. This is not a good. It's one town.
You think?
Oh, it's basketball.
I disagree.
It's more than women's basketball.
80% of the WNBA are Caitlin Clark fans.
That's not basketball fans. That's a different thing. And what I'm saying is, you're getting lost here. Now you can be driven by Caitlin Clark because you need to be, but those aren't basketball fans, and those fans will disappear the moment Caitlin goes away.
Yes,
you know what I mean. So you are banking. This is fool's gold. You need to cater to the basketball fans, because guess what? Caitlin could blow a knee tomorrow, and she's gone all year. And then what?
Don't you dare talk about that.
You get lost in the cash cow, the golden goose. And I get it. You need to build the rivalry. I know what it does for your league. But the moment that you get lost in the rivalry and not in the game, you will suffer. And if she were to get gone, if she were to have something happen, what's next?
Doesn't matter, because Caitlin Clark is that. And it's like LeBron. You're always trying to find the next. And at least with Caitlin Clark, she has changed the game in a sense to be very Steph Curry-ish in the way that she plays the game. And if you're not going to be dunking and hyper athletic and the things that we watch the NBA for, the way to get people into another sport to care the way this is to have a rivalry the same way that they do with Caitlin and Angel, but B, you have to be transcendent in your skill set and bring something that people haven't seen before. And the logo threes and stuff like that Steph Curry brought into the game, that she is bringing into the women's game, the triple doubles, like those things are going to bring eyeballs. And hopefully you get the eyeballs and they appreciate the rest of what they're seeing by having been drawn in by Caitlin, and you keep them because of more things that happen. But I'll tell you this, you ride that success, because that's how you got them in first time with Jordan and Magic and Bird, and that rivalry and the way that Magic played versus the way that Bird played, like that. You brought them in with that and you hooked them with everything else. And then you got lifelong fans, but sometimes it just takes that transcendent player to get them into the game. And I think that's what Caitlin Clark does. Now, as far as the racism goes with Indiana, that is a tough thing to deal with, because you hate to see it in this day and age. The fact that that's still as prevalent and as loud as it seems to kind of be with social media and these keyboard warriors and people yelling from the stands now. But we need to be able to get past that at some point, in my opinion, as a society. And just look, there are a lot of things that you can hate on Angel Reese about, or Caitlin Clark, or whoever you choose to hate on in terms of a basketball hate. Race should not be a part of it. What say you? 210-656-ESPN 656-3776. We'll get to your calls next. Plus, right now, I have a chance for y'all to go be one of the first ones to go see the new Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. I have got an advanced early screening coming up this Wednesday, May the 21st at 7:00 at the AMC River Center. If you are free at 7 and can go to the AMC River Center, be caller number 5 right now, 210-656-ESPN 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. And if you want to go see, be one of the first to see Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Call now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 5, you are going to see Final Reckoning over at the AMC River Center at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. We got more with Extra Innings with Pleasure coming up here, plus your phone calls, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SAT.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. They listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Out here, you'll find a community of hardworking creators with loyal followers, along with proud moments worth sharing. And farm to table, well, that's just supper. And whether it's a raised garden bed, acres of land, or something for your animals, we've got all the supplies and are happy to share a little know-how.
Welcome to Tractor Supply. Into life out here.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Appreciate y'all riding with me today as I take you up till 7 o'clock. We are talking about the rivalry, the beef between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gary jumped in. Gary, what's going on, my man?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Sounds like he had a little something going on right there in the background. There's a lot. I mean, look, the foul wasn't even that bad. Gave her a little mustard, no free layups, no letting her get that shot off with any way of making it. That's what it basically boiled down to and came about. Now, could there be something there? Yes, it is a carryover of a long-standing rivalry that they have had dating all the way back to college between when they were at LSU and Iowa. And it continues to this day. I think it is nothing more than a friendly rivalry amongst professionals. And I don't think there's any animosity or ill will towards either of them. And even Caitlin Clark herself said wasn't even a real foul. So it's going to be very interesting as this goes on. Every time they play, it is going to make tons and tons of headlines because that is who they are. That is the draw that they bring to that sport that desperately needs it in terms of being able to grow it. Of course, there are better players in the league currently than Caitlin Clark. Asia Wilson, one of them, back-to-back MVP. So, Sabrina Ionescu, the reigning finals MVP and a champion now. Caitlin Clark is quickly ascending, though, and she is going to be, if not the face, one of the faces of this league moving forward for the foreseeable future. And it's going to be something that helps this product grow initially moving forward. And it's going to be good for them. I appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. Be sure to call and check on your loved ones. You never know what people are going through in life. And every once in a while, a simple, hey, how are you doing, can change someone's life. So just check on your people. Make sure everybody's doing good. Let them know you're thinking about them. This has been Extra Innings with Pleasure. I appreciate all y'all for riding through with me tonight. We will see you tomorrow right back here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
94.1 FM. Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pockets. You can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best.